2 days ago, I returned home after visiting one of the most exciting new guitar brands of probably the past 20 years. Badlands Guitar Company are based in America, previously California, but they've just opened up a new workshop on the East Coast in Maryland, and they invited me over to check it out and try some of their new guitars. I'm from the UK, in case you couldn't tell, so I documented the entire thing for you. I have more content coming out from my trip, but for now, I hope you enjoy this. So today is day 2 of my trip to Badlands here in America. I arrived in New Jersey yesterday, and Lewis from Badlands kindly picked me up and brought me back to my hotel. He had quite a wait because it took me forever to get through customs. There were 30 counters and one person working and literally hundreds of people in the queue, and they're having a bit of a heat wave here, well, a massive heat wave here in America at the moment. So he was there sitting, waiting for me in the blistering heat for hours, so I really appreciate that. Thank you, Lewis. So he brought me back to the hotel after that. I waited around for a little while, just sort of like rested up, and then we went out for Mexican food, which, if you know me, I'm actually not a massive fan of Mexican food, but honestly, this was by far the best Mexican food I've ever had in my life. So again, thank you so much, Lewis. And Badlands in general, they just sorted out all my logistics and accommodation, so I haven't had to think, I haven't had to use my brain in any kind of way, which has been really nice. It's taken so much pressure off, and I just really appreciate that. But so I'll show you around the hotel now, and then we'll carry on with the rest of the day. Okay, so here's the bathroom. This is where I washed. And decent sized room. So yeah, nice, clean, fresh room. Looks like it's been recently redecorated, and just a nice place to stay while I'm here. Can you guess what's in the case? It's a surprise. Mobile recording studio set up just in case I decide to start working on a new album, because you never know when inspiration might strike. Probably not really why I bought it, but recharging my XV wireless. Now this thing has been a total lifesaver. We don't get much of this in the UK, air conditioners and that kind of thing in hotels. Maybe if you go to really expensive hotels. It was really loud yesterday. I actually thought they were doing like construction work outside the window. But you know what? I will take that sound over the heat any day. Decent sized fridge. So yeah, I'm doing a tour of the workshop that Badlands are using now today. So I'm just charging up all my bits and pieces, getting everything ready for that. So we're at Badlands headquarters right now, and Lewis from Badlands and some of the really talented guitar builders that work here have kindly offered to show me around.
Hello, rockers. We're going to start with one of those bad boys right here. We are at Badlands headquarters in Maryland, and I'm here with Tyler. Tyler helps us with our business. He manages all of our production. And here we have Charlie right here.
Hey, how's it going?
Monster guitar player.
Thank you.
Right here.
So here's our initial lumber section. Everybody loves to see a nice finished product, but this is where it all begins. We'll let this wood sit for many months, up to a year, and then eventually get it planed down the boards over here that you'll see, where we'll let it sit for another year before it ever becomes a guitar.
So this is the CNC machine where we cut most of the parts, and you can see here that it's rounding over the edges of the back of the neck. It does all the fine cuts and gets all the precision that we need to keep our tolerances and get the perfect product.
This is our sanding area where we're gonna basically get everything flattened out so we can take them up to a grit that's gonna be okay to then bring them off to the booth later.
think it's no secret that a lot of guitar manufacturers use bar colors.
So as Lewis mentioned, we never want to just paint just black or just white. Actually, a company that we work with, PPG, is a large known paint brand that's reputable for providing for a lot of high-end car dealerships and other brands. Whether it's Obsidian Black from Tesla, Mercedes, Range Rover, we always have a ton of options to really dial it in to the point of where we're creating the true creations that we want to with this brand.
And eventually, they end up looking like this.
So what we have in here, we partnered with Black Widow Audio Design. For those that follow my channel know that I have a massive amount of respect for this company. When you don't have this, the guitar slips and then hangs like that. Anyone that has that knows what I'm talking about. This team, incredibly proud of what we're doing here. This is a heart and soul passion thing for us, Badlands Guitars. I hope you get to share that passion with us.
This is where I'm staying for the second night. I've spent the day at the Badlands workshop, having a tour and checking it out. But even more so than this very nice hotel, I'm looking forward to trying out this Arizona fruit juice cocktail thing. Well, look who it is. I think it's day 3. Pretty sure it's day 3. It's a bit of a blur because I'm still not caught up on sleep. And I definitely haven't been up since about, well, way before I should have been. Playing my brand new, own personal Badlands GX1 Pro. With the red flames, how cool is that? So this might be the first time you've seen it, probably not. But either way, how cool is this guitar? So we went out for sushi last night, and again, I'm gonna have to say that it was probably the best sushi I've ever had. I can definitely safely say that Lewis and everybody at Badlands know how to take care of you, so it's been really fun so far. So I'm looking forward to today. We're going to Chuck Levins, which is a huge music store in Maryland or Maryland, depending on where you're from. So I'm excited about that. Apparently they've got like this super secret vault with all kinds of crazy guitars. So maybe I'll be able to get down and see some weird and wonderful and exciting stuff, but we'll see. But otherwise, yeah, that's it for now.
I had one that was just like this. I like this one. This is the one. Look at that. So we're doing the next launch. We'll have the Bengal.
These are all the neck, right?
These are all the next ones. Yeah. All right, Carlos. Where do you want to begin? You ready to do this thing? With the gold, it all matches, matchy.
Oh, the camera weren't recording. Let's do it again.
You always need the hot mic. I was running the hot mic yesterday. Everyone was coming over and saying, I'm like, I got the mic on. Careful.
Down to the dungeon.
This is really a dungeon.
It's really like going back in time because you could like this was that was 1992 when that was written, or when I drew that on the wall. All the old employees who used to work here, Specters, Sires, kind of looks like PRS, but it's not. So when my man gets a guitar, this is where it goes, and then I set them up and before they go out, and that's basically it. Carlos Land.
So this is Carlos Land here, yeah?
This is all layaway.
Oh, layaway, okay.
Here's a couple Badlands we got.
Again, stuff down here you're not going to see up there.
Oh yeah.
Full-size alligator case.
Wow.
Whoa.
I never heard of
Castadoza.
I think he used to work under.
Yeah, he worked at Fender Custom Shop, and now he does his own thing.
Wow.
This is a baritone, actually.
You have any other double necks down here?
Good question.
I think we have like a PRS, I think. That was my man. You're good.
He made a fretless double neck as well.
Really?
Baritone fretless double neck.
Oh yeah.
You could spend a long time with messing with that.
I
And
see.
look at that.
Look like hardware store screws.
Right?
Jeez.
Ask Steve from Boston about the PRS double neck. He talks about it quite a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
What does he say?
I think there was one online for sale somewhere, and he kind of like, it's like a running joke that he's going to, buy it once he's got enough super chats or whatever.
The back of that guitar is stunning.
Oh yeah.
I'm going
You gotta
to
look at the
Are you not expecting that, are you?
Wow.
That's cool.
it has like a little pearlescent to it.
It could be yours for $18,000.
Lewis, you got so much room in that truck.
Jeez. I think this costs more than the truck.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. That's something else.
Is this what I think it is?
It's the one of,
Oh.
these.
I've been trying to sell it for so long.
That's Koa. That's the Koa version.
Yeah.
They don't make these strings anymore, which is
That's one of the problems.
yeah.
Look at that. Even the
So
neck plate
nice.
is recessed.
Exactly.
You sold all the other ones, though, I would imagine.
Yeah. We had like
You had the blue one, the red one. I bought the amber one when they were here.
I think we had the bitch.
Do you still have that?
No, that one's sold.
That's gone. I remember that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's my style, but it is a nice guitar. I put this in the category of like the very exotic, like when you go to the NAMM shows and they have the, what is that area called where they have all the exotic handmade
Yeah, I know what
guitars?
you're talking about. I've seen that. Yeah.
Even this, is that embroidered? Wow, look at that. That's something else.
This is day 4. I'm pretty sure it's day 4. I'm just waiting at the hotel for Badlands to come and pick me up. And then we're going to do a few bits. We did a live show last night on the Tone Kings YouTube channel, which was kind of surreal because I've seen a good few shows from his live show. And to be in the room is always... So same as like when you go to Hennings or when I went to Mike's, like you've seen this room so many times and you're actually in it. It's kind of weird. But you're seeing it from like a totally different angle as well. But yeah, the live show went really well. I had a good time. Everyone was very nice in the chat, so I appreciated that. And today I'm going to make a couple of videos with the Tone King. Well, maybe one video with him, and I'll do maybe a couple more while he's getting on with some other stuff. It's just been non-stop since we got here, so I think there's some stuff that he needs to catch up on outside of Badlands stuff. And then again, tomorrow's a similar kind of day, slightly more relaxed over the next sort of day and a half, which is nice. It's been, yeah, like I said, non-stop hard work, but loads of fun, and yeah, really enjoyed every second I've been here. So see you soon. So in this video, me and the Tone King, we're going to discuss our favourite guitarists from the 80s, and I've kind of turned it into a game as well. So I've split it up into 2 sections, UK guitarist and USA guitarist, and there's also a few European wildcards as well. say if you were into, I don't know, Minecraft or something like that, you'd have like zombies and you'd have like their strength would be a certain number and their intelligence, and then you'd have like Ender dragons would be this. And I don't know why I'm going for a Minecraft analogy. That's like the worst possible.
Dungeons and Dragons.
So today's my last day and I'm down here at the moment. I'm about to start recording 3 or 4 tracks. And I'm saving the clean signal so that I can just like run it through whatever plugins are released. So in the future, I can still help promote Badlands with their stuff, even though I don't have their guitars at mine back at home in the UK. I can just run that clean signal through whatever cool new amp sims are coming out and then continue to help promote Badlands. My flight is in about 8 hours, so I need to get this done because I need to be at the airport about 3 hours before that. And then it's going to take a good hour or so to get to the airport. So time is running out, but I'll get this done. And then I feel like the time I've spent here has gone so quickly, but I've been doing something like at every point. So it's been productive, but I don't know if you're like this, but you always feel like you could have squeezed more in or whatever. But realistically, I don't think that I could have. So I'm really happy with the productivity and what we've got done, and hopefully you're enjoying this, and I'll see you again in a little while.
Diner.
Any good?
It's food. In a pinch, if you're hungry, checks the box.
Well, I'm finally back in London, completely exhausted. It was a bit of a nightmare journey to get home, to be honest. There were pretty big delays getting back. Like getting to the airport was totally fine. We did it in good time. Getting through the security, although you're not really dealing with the nicest of people, kind of got through fairly easily. Waited at the gate, was all right. Got on the plane, and then that's when the kind of drama began. So as soon as we walked on the plane, the heat hit us like being punched in the face. The plane had been sitting on the runway on the tarmac or whatever it was for like an entire day, and nobody had turned the air conditioning on. So it was like unbearably hot, and they had the air conditioning going at full capacity, and they even brought like some other kind of air conditioners on board, and it wasn't making any difference. But meanwhile, while this was going on, there was some kind of maintenance issue as well. There was a problem with the aeroplane. So they were dealing with that. We sat on the aeroplane for maybe an hour, maybe slightly more than an hour. And then we got the news that we had to deboard, go back to the gate and wait for whoever knows how long. So we got off. That whole process just takes forever. So eventually got to the gate, sitting there waiting for an hour, maybe more than an hour, maybe 2 hours, I don't know. And at that time, I'm looking at like booking.com, trying to find hotels because it seemed pretty inevitable that we weren't going to be leaving. And then at some point they said, right, yeah, we can actually get on the plane. I didn't even care at that point. I was just so relieved we were going to get back. So we all got back onto the plane again, the whole long process, going through the gate check and the gate security and all that kind of stuff. Eventually got back to the seat, eventually started to move, and then they stopped. They discovered there was another problem with the plane, so they had to bring out another maintenance team. And then I'm convinced at that point that we're not going anywhere. But eventually they did sort that problem out and we left. I did overhear somebody at the gate mention that when they woke up, they looked at well, it's not the flight number, but there was like some kind of reference number associated with the flight. And it was like number 6666. And they were like, when I saw that number, I thought, maybe I should just rebook this flight. And yeah, maybe he was right. We eventually left. It was supposed to take like 6.5 hours. It just felt like it took forever, and I didn't sleep, and I just lost all concept of time. I was just getting confused because I was so tired. I hadn't slept in forever. I'm looking at the UK time. I'm looking at the US time trying to work out, and it was just too much for my brain to take. At one point, the woman sitting next to me, she fell asleep, head straight on my shoulder. And I was like, oh my God. So she's there sleeping on my shoulder, and I'm like, okay, now what can I do now? So I just had to wait for her to wake up. Eventually she woke up, didn't acknowledge it in any kind of way. It was pretty funny. Tried to take a photo, but I was like, this is a bit creepy. I'm not going to do that. Anyway, I just had the best time. Badlands definitely know how to look after you. So obviously a massive thank you to them. But so probably the next clip you'll see is me back in the studio, just probably talking about it. So see you later. Obviously, I had to come back with one of their new GX1 Pro models. You would have done the same, don't lie. What finish would you have picked? If you're new to my channel, maybe you've discovered it through Badlands or maybe the Tone Kings YouTube channel. I'd really love it if you would consider subscribing. I make guitar videos all the time, checking out new gear or just playing and talking guitar, and I'd love to have you as a subscriber. Thank you. I just had the best time over in New Jersey and Maryland with Lewis and the rest of the Badlands team. They couldn't have been more welcoming and we're totally transparent with the entire business. They gave me unrestricted access to the workshop. There were no areas that were out of bounds. I'm looking forward to showing you the full factory tour video very soon. I love that they're catering to a very specific customer and they're not planning on diluting that by offering more general lines of guitars. It'd probably be a much easier way to expand their company more quickly, but that's not what they're about. They're keeping to that narrow niche and building a brand with a strong identity, which I think in the long run is more valuable to everyone. I have more content coming up from my time at Badlands, including a full factory tour video and my video on the new GX1 Pro when it's officially released. This is just like a sneak peek. If that video is out by the time you watch this video, then you'll find it just here. If not, check out this one I made recently talking about why guitar amps might be irrelevant in 2025. Thank you so much for watching.